Hey folks, it's your boy Kevin from Kevin's Auto Review. Welcome back to my channel. Look what I got here. This is the brand new Hummer EV SUV 3X. And this one is a special edition. Why is that? Because this one is the carbon fiber edition. And this thing looks lovely. Because not only this thing is super fast, it's a super SUV. But unfortunately, I'm gonna say this too because if you get the SUV version of the carbon fiber edition, you're still gonna get the same amount of horsepower, which is 830 horsepower. But if you get the pickup version, you're gonna get more horsepower, and it's gonna be even faster 0 to 60. So if you get the pickup version, it's gonna be 2.8 seconds and 1,160 horsepower. So if you get the regular 3X, it's gonna be 1,000. But if you get the carbon fiber edition, it's gonna be 0 to 60, 2.8 seconds with 1,160 horsepower. So now we're gonna dive in with this carbon fiber edition SUV Hummer EV and see what we got, because this thing, the SUV come out 2024, the pickup version first came out in 2022, and ever since, this thing has been killing it. The sales is not the best, they're not selling as much because people asking for a diesel, a V8. I think, if they put a V8 in there, this I would not even have the chance to review this bad boy. It will be already gone. But if I have the money to afford one, I'm telling you, a brand new Hummer, I will get the pickup truck with the carbon fiber edition. So now let's dive in and this beautiful Hummer EV SUV 3X with the carbon fiber edition 2026. So what we got here, we're gonna get this LED turn signal and LED daytime running lights. So if you want to see the turn signal demonstration, check out my YouTube channel because I already did about a bunch of reviews about the Hummer EV. So down here, this is where you're gonna get your headlights. So no fog lights because this one is well located down here, so basically you don't need a fog light. But if they decide in the future, i would love I would love that idea. But we're also going to get a lot of ground clearance. So this thing, I think if you get the off-road package, you know you can get up to 16 inches of ground clearance. This is phenomenal. This is fantastic news. So, and we got this recovery hooks that's gonna pull the Cybertruck out of the goddamn mud. And down here, since this one is the carbon fiber edition, we're gonna get carbon fiber for bumper here. That looks so freaking good. And we got a forward facing camera. So I don't think this one is gonna have under body camera because this one is not the off-road package. But if you get the off-road package, this thing it's fully loaded with cameras, you know. And the front design, guys, this thing is really menacing. Like this thing, like if I see this thing coming at me, and like I'm seeing, like I'm looking at my mirror and seeing this thing like coming at me, man, I'm gonna be nervous. Especially if it's coming with speed. You know what I mean? Because this thing is menacing. It's very boxy. Everywhere you look at this thing, you're gonna notice it's a Hummer, and Hummer always big. So if you are criticize the Hummer because it's too big, well, do your homework because Hummer were never small. That we X was, smaller, yes, but if I want to get a Hummer, you know, since day one, like the H1, it should be a military vehicle. So Hummer was never small. And if I'm buying a Hummer because I love big big SUVs, big pickup trucks. So I would not get, and if they were like give me a smaller version of this, I'll still get this one instead. So yeah, and we're gonna get this carbon fiber wheels that looks so freaking awesome. But what I said awesome, like the finishes, but the design, it's okay. It's not my favorite, you know. But they feel really nice, if you ask me. And we're gonna get this mud flap right here and the Hummer EV badge down here, and then this is gonna be a 360 surround view camera. No LED turn signal, no turn signal at all on the Hummer. So something to be aware of. And we got this fixed step right here, which is cool. And we're gonna have this rear steer, which is gonna be even better, even sweeter for 2026 because this thing has something called king crab, and with this king crab, you're gonna be able to do like maneuver through like obstacle pretty easy. The turning radius is even better and quicker. So down here, we're in the rear here, so it's looking great, but unfortunately, there is no carbon fiber at the bumper and the back. But we got the spare tire with the carbon fiber, you know, looking good, and the GMC badge down here. Let me know what you guys think overall of this carbon fiber edition. So the wheel deal is in the interior, but before we get to the interior, I'm gonna show you the turn signal. I said I was gonna do it, but I will let you guys see it on my channel. But I'm gonna do it because these are much. So I love because this one is on EV, guys. All right, let's do it. You're gonna get front storage, but let's say like GMC decided to bring a gas version of this baby, you're not gonna get this front storage. I'm sorry. No, you won't, because that will be the place for the engine. And to be honest, I'll miss that front storage because I rent this vehicle like the 2X and this one like for a few days, and this storage was pretty useful. I went to Market Basket. You know, my mom, and this thing was useful, to be honest. So since we're here, we're gonna talk about the horsepower, but I'm gonna show you this beautiful lighting in here, and I believe you should get a 12 volt somewhere here, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, guys. So what we got for horsepower? So we got 830 horsepower with this one. So if you get the pickup truck, the which the one I would get. So this one is actually 1,160 horsepower and do 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. You know, so it's pretty good that, and I think this thing is like 13,000 pound-feet of torque. So a pound-feet of torque is pretty good because this thing, if you do the launch control like which is the what's the freedom WTF mode, so you're gonna get 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, I believe. They haven't tested the SUV, but they didn't say that you're gonna get the 0 to 60 time with the SUV 2.8 seconds. You can only get that with the pickup truck with more horsepower. So, like I said, if I would get one of these, I'll get the pickup truck instead. You can open this bad boy here, down here, by pressing this button here, and you can close it as well, which is very cool. And now let's check out the price and finally get to the interior. So wait, so I already show you the exterior of this bad boy. So you see everything, you know. And the one thing that you need to see now before we get to the interior is the price. So let's check it out. So basically, the way this vehicle is optioned with the carbon fiber edition option. So we're gonna get 126 700 $126,785 base price. Um, it's gonna be $105,300. So with this Hummer, we're gonna get a lot, you know, because wait until I get to the interior, guys, to see where the magic happens. So guys, let's do finally it. Gonna head to the interior of this bad boy. I'm excited. Are you? Are you ready? Here we go. This is the brand new interior of this carbon fiber edition, man. And I can say that this thing is lovely. Starting with the door panel here, with this red color interior that looks so freaking amazing. With this two-tone, red and black, man, they could not have done this any better because this thing looks absolutely amazing, guys. This is really stunning, really sporty, and if you want to get this, and there's something I forgot to mention. We got this matte paint, so this gray matte paint and this red interior. You can only get that with the carbon fiber edition. So you're not gonna be able to get it to any other like standard trim on your Hummer. So something to be aware of, something to keep in mind. So we got power folding with this Hummer, which is really cool. And then we got power adjusting, steering wheel, and power seats for the driver and the passenger as well. So now let's finally get inside because this thing is gonna keep beeping on me until I shut the door. All right, now we are inside this brand new Hummer EV SUV, and I forgot to mention, see this roof panel, this T-top, you can actually remove them. So you can, the summer, it's so much here, so come get this bad boy because you're gonna enjoy it. Because you can remove all four, black or regular or Bronco. And let me pull the chair a little bit back. Yes. And I'm 6'5", guys, and I can say that, guys, I'm swimming in here. I am swimming. The steering wheel, I wish it has a flat bottom. I'm sorry about the sun being in the way a little bit, guys. But this is the best angle. This is the best way I can have them put this Hummer, to film it for you guys. But overall, guys, this thing is really spacious, really comfortable, no problem. We got this AC vent, this climate vent right there on the side with that Hummer, the H shape for Hummer. And we got the Hummer EV badge in the middle here, which is cool. And we got this gauge cluster that you can customize it however you like. You can put a full map in here. If I go down here and I press like Google Map, so give me a second here. All right, so we're gonna go to Google Maps here. There we go. Boom, boom, which is very cool. And the right hand side, you can control your music, your voice command. You can enter the car here. Here's to hang up. And on the left hand side is to do your super cruise. To turn on your super cruise right there. It's gonna light up here. Which is very cool. And yeah, guys. So and you got to open your front trunk. This is lane keep assist. This is to hold down all windows at once. And yeah, guys. And I believe this one is to charge. You know, I forget what this plugin thing is for. I'll show you in the comment section down below. But yeah, guys, the sun is blocking the view a little bit. So like I said, this one is for the lane keep assist, and this one is for the all windows to hold down at once, which is pretty cool. And this is one the front gate, front trunk, and this is one is for the electronic parking brake. And we got a rear mirror here, which is cool. Flip it. It's normal, and flip it back. Got a rear mirror, digital camera, which is really cool. And this is your infotainment system, which is pretty big. You know, so we got Play Store. This one doesn't have Apple CarPlay, so you can download you know all your apps that you would get in Apple CarPlay. So, which is it's not a total downside. And when I get in this vehicle, so I basically don't have to press anything to start the vehicle. So I just get in, and then you can just put your foot on the brake, and it will start automatically. But to shut it off, like manually, you can go here, and this is where to turn it off. I will show that demonstration later on when I'm done with this vehicle. But yeah, guys, and cameras. So cameras should be pretty straightforward in the infotainment system. Press this one. You got different views. You know, this is your backup camera. No, this is your overhead camera, I believe. And this is one is for towing, and this one is gonna help you when you're parking your Hummer, which is really cool. I think the camera is kind of like dirty right now. That's why it's not showing like clearly, and the sun is kind of like on the way right now. I'm sorry about that, folks. But yeah, guys, and that's it for the cameras. You got climate control. So this one is gonna be for your output pages, which is really cool. This is your auxiliary, like you can put a bunch of things however you like it. There we go. Really cool. And we go back to home. We go to map. Next, go to map. Really cool. Right. Put this two together. This is a beautiful view. This is how we live it, you know. And let's say if I wanna say I wanna go to Malden, for example, right? Let's try this. So I put okay. Let me put any restaurants, for example, to see how quick it is. Yeah, it's really like because
Exit the parking lot toward North Avenue.
when I reviewed the Hummer, which I haven't posted this one. Like I drove, like I rent the 2X version of the 2025, and the Google Map was really slow. And for 2026, I can say that it's a big improvement. This one is really fast, no lag whatsoever. And if I wanna, let's say I wanna change it, see, really quick, you know, no delay, which is good. So I'm happy to see that. And yeah, guys, so this is it for the infotainment system. And we got wireless charging down here, and to connectivity, USB A, USB C, and we got two cup holders. This is the key fob. Okay. All right. So this one is gonna be for unlock. So this one I believe is to. I believe this one is for the remote start. So this one is for the tailgate right there, and this one is to your front trunk. And this is your pointing button right there. cool. So yeah, guys, and you can cover this up like this, which is cool. And the center console is pretty big and heavy, and we got a deep storage. It's a big, like a full size SUV, so that was expected. And yeah, and glove box is pretty deep enough. And yeah, guys, so no, not much of a carbon fiber in the interior, which is, I'm gonna say this, I'm kind of like disappointed, you know, but they only give that on the exterior. But overall, it's a nice looking interior, and the seats feels really nice, feel really comfortable, looks great with this two-tone red color. And yeah, guys, and this one is gonna be your drive mode. So basically, like this is gonna be where you to control your king crab, and you can raise the hammer up and down. You know, you can go to extract mode to give you up that 16-inch ground clearance, which is cool. And this button down here are gonna be for your heating steering wheel, traction control, your hazard button right here, and your parking assist. Not parking assist, but technically it's gonna be for a parking sensor. I believe this one is gonna be for a parking assist. So yeah, guys. Uh, so before when we're gonna leave this front seats, I'm gonna show you how to demonstrate this freaking if you wanna turn off your Hummer manually. So basically, what you do is press this button right here, boom, and vehicle off, and that will literally turn off your Hummer, which is cool. And then you open the door, and you're good to go. Now let's check out the back seats and see what we get. And I forgot to mention, guys, you get extra storage down here, which you could put your girlfriend or wife. You can put a sack, a satchel, purse, like ladies' rights always say. So yeah, guys, and this Hummer you get a lot of storage, which is very cool. Guys, now let's finally head to the rear seats. So you're gonna get the same material as you did in the front, which is cool, and you're gonna get this nice moon surface graphic and a grill cover speaker. And this just got this vehicle, so still got this plastic that's covered. I'm gonna leave as it is. Now let's just step in. You got this grab handle right there to get on your harness. So this is how massive this vehicle is. So if you're short, we need that definitely. So in the back here, I got a lot of space. If you ask me, yeah, a lot of space. Yes, sir, a lot of space for a Hummer, I would say. You know, because I put the chair a little bit forward, to be honest. But even if I put it forward and then I sit on front, I was still comfortable. You know, so I'll be to drive comfortably, and I leave it like this, and I'm still able to fit back there. So that's what I mean by a lot of space. But if you want something extreme, you better go with the Sierra EV or an Escalade, you know, or a Silverado EV. Because with these ones, you're gonna be really spoiled with space on the back. But we got this climate control and climate vents, you know, and we also got heating seats and USB A, USB C, which is very cool. And you can fold down the armrest as well. If you want to see more details about that one, check out my other reviews. And this one is covered with plastic, so I'm not gonna unwrap it. So, and you do get uh, a nice pocket behind the seats, which is fantastic. So overall, this Hummer is really nice. You know, so this is the trim I'll get, and I hope GMC keep making that trim because They did have a new trim called, I believe, the Omega Edition. They don't do that one anymore. So that one it was uh really expensive though. That one you can get it for 140 grand, and the pickup 150. So I guess they were guessing like they were not selling. There was no point to keep making it, but I missed that that edition. So now let's finally get to the cargo area so we can wrap it up. All right, folks, we're about to head to the cargo area. So to open this up, you just press this button right here. Boom, and behind this second row, which you're not gonna get a third row, so you're gonna get 35.9 cubic feet of space. Hold down the C's by pressing this button. You're gonna get 81.8 cubic feet of space. And did we get a 12 volt? No, but you get a power source, which is fantastic. So that's better than a 12 volt. But if they get a 12 volt, that would be fantastic too. But we don't get that. And if you want to put things in the back of your Hummer, I know it's pretty high, so you can just raise the suspension down. So that will help you out. Happy that we have this feature. If you want to close it, press this button again, and voila. So yeah, guys. And if you want to see a cool feature, you can actually wall down this window just by pressing this button down here. You gotta hold it though, and that will bring it down the window. But if you want to see that feature, you gotta check my YouTube channel because it's not doing it right now. Maybe it's because this vehicle is not prepped yet because it just got in. They gotta put it to service. So yeah, guys, you can actually, and I'm not lying, check out my YouTube channel, and you're gonna see a specific video just actually about that feature. So now let's finally wrap it up, and I will see you guys in a split seconds. All right, guys, it was a pleasure for me to bring you guys this brand new Hummer EV 2026 carbon fiber edition of this 3X. And I would like to say thank you to these guys, GMC Brick, Willfield, and Whitfield, to let me borrow this Hummer for a little bit, even though they didn't let me drive it. I wish they let me drive it, but for some reason they don't. I'm hoping in the future, but they were kind enough to let me review one. Some other dealership might even let me do so. So that's why you guys gotta keep subscribing. So when my channel gets big enough, so people would actually let me review the Hummers. So let me know overall what you guys think about this Hummer EV SUV 3X, you know, with this carbon fiber edition. Would you purchase a Cybertruck over this or a Rivian over this? Personally, I would. If you've been watching my channel, I would pick the Hummer. But not because I'm a big Hummer fan, but it looks better. You know, the Rivian headlights looks like a freaking cartoon headlights, and the Cybertrucks look like a freaking robot. Yes, it's cool in a way because as long as it's like, to me personally, I would say the Cybertruck doesn't look good. It's an ugly vehicle, but um, the Cybertruck is kind of like growing on me when it comes like this look like a spaceship, like a car for robots. So, but the Hummer, it's unique too, but it's also really menacing and it's beautiful. Look like a beast. You know what I mean? It's a beast. A super SUV with a super truck. So it's a lovely vehicle. But overall, if you like what I'm doing, please don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But if you're not new, thank you for doing so, for being of the Curvin Auto Review family. And just like always, guys, please stay safe out there. And don't forget to share the video with your friends, your family. All right, guys. I will see you guys in the next video.